presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Arizona.
10 years ago, the Diamondbacks brought a World Series championship to Phoenix in only their 4th year of existence.
Floater, center field. The Diamondbacks are world champions.
In over 50 years in San Francisco, the Giants, a franchise with a storied past, with some of the greatest players in baseball history, had never won a World Series. Then, last season, a team of journeymen and cast-offs, led by an unmatched group of young pitchers, brought a world championship to the city by the bay. Clutch hitting and strong pitching overwhelmed the Braves, the Phillies, and finally the Rangers. Baseball's ultimate prize belonged to San Francisco.
Swing and a miss, and that's it. The Giants are world champions.
This weekend, the world champions are in town, and the Diamondbacks will test their skills against the very best. Giants, Diamondbacks, next on Fox Sports Arizona.
Boy, what a series we have for you. Hopefully you're set after watching that masterfully created tease. It is the Arizona Diamondbacks. It is the going head-to-head with the San Francisco Giants. This is Jackie Robinson Day. To say it clearly, that's a day worth celebrating. The greatest day in baseball, of course, marking the anniversary of Jackie breaking the color barrier. And, of course, the Giants in town going head-to-head with the Diamondbacks. You can see what's going on in the National League West out of the gates. Colorado, everyone's saying they are shy the pitching. They are certainly getting it done. Plenty of pitching there. And remember, Ubaldo Jimenez right now on the shelf trying to come back. The San Francisco Giants, a fabulous come-from-behind homestand. Otherwise, it could have been a winless homestand. Hi there, folks. Welcome back to the ballpark. This is Gonzo Luis Gonzalez. My name is Darren Sutton, and we trust you've got a great weekend planned. Every weekend's been a great weekend for the Giants since they became the world champs, Gonzo. And I guess I ask you right away, there have been some key injuries. This club maybe at 6-6 has disappointed some, but they're starting to awaken. They're starting to play come-from-behind baseball, and suddenly, again, they're going to be a team to be vying for the top spot.
Yeah, they really are. Last year they've been there. Most of their key players are back again this year. They've, like you said earlier, they've got a couple key injuries, but they're starting to swing the bat well, play well, and, of course, they have that nucleus of pitching.
Can you have a World Series hangover as a team for a couple of weeks in the regular season?
Well, I think they've had a lot of hype now. They've got a production crew following them around town everywhere they go now to make a series up for these guys, but they know how to handle it. They'll be back in there. Of course, Colorado Rockies are playing so well.
Well, the one thing the Giants can do is they can pitch. That's why they're the champs. And with that in mind, this is a fun pitching matchup tonight. Matt Cain, a guy with a great fastball, great changeup. Daniel Hudson, a guy with a great fastball, great changeup. This is a fun one tonight.
Yeah, it really is. Both these guys got a lot of great movement on their fastball, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. They're around the plate, and they pitch aggressive, and that's what we want to see tonight.
This is Hudson last year against San Francisco. Here's the first changeup. That's all you'll see. Otherwise, a lot of fastballs.
Yeah, it really is. They attack the zone. These two guys go right after you. They don't like to fiddle around on different pitches. They just go right at you. And your aggressiveness at the plate, that's how they get you out.
What about Cain? I mean, he's got a couple of years in now. He's not the hard luck guy anymore. He's just a big-time pitcher.
He is. He's their workhorse on their team. I know everybody talks about Lincecum, but this was a guy that I always hate to face every time out there.
Matt Cain with a steady diet of fastballs. He'll add in the breaking ball, add in the changeup as well. You ready for this one?
Yeah, I am. I'm looking forward to it.
We have a fun weekend. Luis Gonzalez, Joe Garagiola tomorrow night. Mark Grace comes back in from his network assignment on Sunday. And, of course, all of the players wearing number 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson. Quite honestly, that's the most important thing. If you don't take anything from this ballgame tonight outside of that, we hope that's what you take with us. When we come back, Mark McClone will join us. And, of course, going down the list of so many things to remember from number 42, Jackie Robinson.
Baseball brought to you by Gila River Casinos. Play slots with your Players Club card at any Gila River, and you could instantly win $2,000 to $20,000. Jack in the Box. Right now, the All-American Jack combo and fries and a drink is only $4.99 plus tax. Southwest Airlines, new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates.
Welcome back to Chase Field. The number 42 taking on extra significance today as we celebrate the 64th anniversary of Jackie Robinson making his big league debut. That number 42 comes down out of the rafters all over Major League Baseball today, goes on the back of players, coaches, and on the sleeves of umpires. And it's a lasting legacy of Jackie Robinson that is not lost on two of the Diamondbacks' star players.
Oh man, it's an honor. Jackie Robinson did so much in this game. He's made it so that we can play the game. As a whole group. The baseball world is something special, and he made it better by bringing different individuals and different races into the game. So we're excited, and it's an honor to wear the jersey. It's an honor. It's an honor. It's good that all the guys on the teams are all coming together to show the support and show how much it means to everybody to wear the number 42. It's a huge honor, and Jackie did a lot in this game, and I'm glad that it's being recognized.
Coming up, a matchup of two powerful right arms, two of the best in big league baseball. Kane and Hudson next on Fox Sports Arizona.
Leading off for San Francisco center fielder, number 42, Aaron Rowan.
Aaron Rowan will lead things off. Let's get this ball game started. Daniel Hudson rocks and fires. We are underway on a Friday night here at Chase Field. And Rowan, the outfielder out of Cal State Fullerton, who began his career with the White Sox like Hudson does. On the 0-1, takes a pitch, sinking fastball low. 1-1 the count. Rowan, a bit of a renaissance start to the season. 367, a homer. 3 runs batted in. Had a big series against the Dodgers. Had a real down year last year, hitting just .230. Good swing and miss fastball. 1-2 the count. No run support for Daniel Hudson. Gonzo, that's why he's 0-2. Otherwise, slow starts in ball games and strong finishes.
Yeah, his tough thing has been early in the ball game. He gets out of the gates a little slow, so we're hoping that he can jump out there early today and get right after these hitters.
Daniel just 24 years old. Again, that fastball. Rowan a little bit late in getting to it. Rowan, as we mentioned, a double, a triple. That Dodgers series they just wrapped up. Began as a White Sox in the outfield. Was a world champ there. Played in Philadelphia on 1-2, right up under his chin. He wanted it in, but he gets so much movement that'll happen.
Yeah, and this is a thing that Gibby and his coaching staff has stressed early. Go after these guys early, move their feet, let them know that you're going to pitch in. It's a little tight right there on Rowan, but he shuffled his feet around. Now they know.
He definitely moved his feet. You could see Montero just wanted a high fastball there. As that one, another fastball right down the middle, so we'll do it again. But as we mentioned, The Giants start the season at an even 500. They have played some eventful games already. Walk-off wins, come from behind wins against St. Louis, against the Dodgers as well. The changeup was at the belt, but it's still strike three. Let's take a look at the Giants lineup after Rowan. All familiar names if you followed the postseason last year. Freddie Sanchez at second. Aubrey Huff is in right field and scuffling defensively. Buster Posey, the Rookie of the Year. Pablo Sandoval, light, literally. Pat Burrell, Brandon Belt at first. Miguel Tejada, the shortstop, the veteran, moves over. And Matt Cain is on the mound. Good contact hitter in Sanchez as he takes Belt high down the middle.
Yeah, they've definitely got this on their Giants team. They've got some guys that can swing the bat, but don't sleep on the Diamondbacks. Our offense has been on track this year. D-backs
offense is warming up and has been hot. The pitching has not matched it to this point. 0-2 the count. Sanchez, 279, a homer, 4 RBIs. First couple of years in the big leagues, this young man, Southern Californian, began as a member of the Boston Red Sox, and in parts of 2 seasons didn't hit at all. 220 in his time in the American League. Outside. Since coming to the National League, all he's done is hit. Just a tick below a 300 career hitter in the National League.
He's also got a batting title under his belt.
A couple of years back in Pittsburgh. Out front of a changeup. This will not be an easy play. Long run. Steven throwing and an infield hit. Pitch was almost too good. He didn't square it up at all.
Yeah, it really was. Good pitch right there. Stephen Drew made a great play right there. Just Sanchez got too much wheels for him right there. It's a nice play right there. Throwing off balance. Got a nice firm throw there. Not enough to get Sanchez.
So Freddie is on, and now Aubrey Huff without a long ball yet this year. Boy, has he loved in his career Arizona pitching. This is a career .351 hitter, as that one has popped up a mile high. And into the seats it goes. And check that, I shorted him. He's a career .386 hitter against the Diamondbacks. Aubrey Huff.
And I think, Darren, what you're seeing here is you're seeing a lot of their hitters going up there aggressive on Hudson. They don't want to fall behind. They know he's got a good changeup, so they're trying to jump on that first fastball as soon as they get it.
0-1 the count. Infield plays in the pole just a bit. Big swing and a miss at a fastball. The Giants, last couple of years at Chase Field, 12 wins and 6 losses. They've won 6 of their last 7 in this ballpark. The starting pitching is dealt in this park as well. What is supposed to be a hitter's ballpark.
Well, they've got a couple hitters in their lineup that love hitting here at Chase Field.
Chased, done. That's the as advertised fastball right there.
Really is. He went up in the zone right there to get him. And I think most of their hitters, they know he's got a fantastic changeup, and that sits in the back of your mind. There it is. He elevates the fastball. Check swing right there by Huff. Wasn't able to hold up.
Buster Posey, 286 to start the year. A homer, 7 RBIs. The Georgia native who had the world watching in October last year. Had 17 hits in the postseason. And again, if you're just joining us, all of the players in this ball game tonight, each and every one of them, you will see wearing number 42. Commemorating Jackie Robinson Day. And of course, that number was retired in April of 1997, commemorating the 50th anniversary of Robinson breaking the color barrier. The first league to retire a number league-wide. What an honor to have your number 20 up there by Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, he was a legend in the game.
That's a special spot, my friend. The 1-0. Changeup dives low. Posey with the take. We all remember, if you watched the Diamondbacks last year, how Posey came to the big league, saw the Diamondbacks early, and was 14 for his first 21 against Arizona. That's a 667 clip. Diamondbacks kind of, and I respectfully say, kind of figured him out the rest of the way. 2-1 the count.
Yeah,
the next 7 games, what'd they do?
They pounded him in. Yeah, of course, obviously, when you come up and you're swinging the bat as well as he is, or he was at the time, you got to find a way to figure it out. And I think they just tried to tie him up the rest of the way. So, you know, he's a good hitter. He's an established guy. I know last year was his rookie year, but he's way more polished than most rookies are when they get here.
Was not a catcher when he went to college. How about that to Florida State? The 2-1. Line drive. That's what he does so well, using the big part of the ballpark, not trying to pull the baseball. That's a single from Buster Posey. Let's take a look at the defense. Mora, Drew, Johnson, Brandon on the infield. David Robluski and Associates sponsor the defense. Miguel Montero behind the plate. A couple of older souls and, well, older guys anchor the corner of the defense. I can't wait to show you folks the Diamondback starting lineup. I mean, I really can't wait to show it to you. Rannion's in there, and certainly Mora's in there in different spots. Pablo Sandoval looks good, doesn't he?
He does. He's trimmed up quite a bit. Last year he started gaining some more weight again. The Giants were very concerned about that. Went through his rigorous offseason training, and they seemed to tell him, if you don't get in shape, you're not going to have that job. So he's worked very hard this offseason.
High fly ball crushed. Deep right field. Pablo Sandoval with a 3-run shot, and the Giants lead it by a score of 3-0. A career .367 hitter against the Arizona Diamondbacks, the best of any player from 08 till now against Diamondbacks pitching. There's this old school theory that when you lose weight, you don't hit for power anymore.
No, and they tried to come in. The first pitch they came in on him, and he was looking for it again inside right there. See, that ball comes right back out over the plate on the inner half. Pablo gets a good extension on that pitch.
.385 career hitter in this ballpark as that fastball is low. And the early ball game struggles continue for Hudson. This has been a common theme, unfortunately for Daniel, as that pitch is low and away. Now for Sandoval, that is his 3rd homer of the year. RBIs number 7, 8, and 9. That's it. I guess you call it the old Babe Ruth theory. You know, you get that power hitter. He's a big boy and he hits for power because it puts that belly into it. Well, there goes that theory. He doesn't have much of a belly anymore.
Well, you know, most of baseball is mental. And when you come to a ballpark that you know you feel good in, you see the ball well, you feel good coming here. And that's no different with him coming to this ballpark. He's always done a fantastic job of hitting here at this stadium.
It's a funny thing, the psyche that you guys have, but it makes sense. So there were places you got out of the taxi cab on the road and you just felt better about yourself.
I love hitting at Wrigley Field.
Okay.
Coors Field. There's a certain parks.
Ball 4. So Pat Burrell, the veteran, who last year was essentially released by Tampa, then signed with the Giants and played 96 of the games of his life to rebuild his career. Bay Area guy as well, homered 18 times. He reaches on a walk.
And this is something that our starters have to do a better job of. I mean, we got a couple outs here early, and now he's got his pitch count up to 25 pitches with 2 outs here in the first.
Well, now the much heralded young man out of Texas, Brandon Belt. Overall, the numbers on the year below 200. 195. 3 of 10 with a couple of walks in the Dodgers series. In his first year of pro ball last year, I mean, eye-popping numbers. On the corner, 1-1.
Yeah, I saw this guy play in the Arizona Fall League this year, and he's got a great command of the strike zone. I mean, he knows what he's doing up there at the plate, and he's a pretty good glove at first base.
One and 2, the count to Belt. Cody Ross is coming off the disabled list here after probably a rehab assignment, maybe a week or so. Then they have a decision to make about their roster and maybe Mr. Belt. He does have options left. He can go down and tear up AAA. That's strike 3 over the outside corner. But the Giants have already announced their presence with authority. The world champs have come back to the place where they train. And they feel really comfortable. League's hottest offense has a mountain to climb already. San Francisco leads it 3-0. Well, here's your lineup. Here's what's interesting. Look all the way down at the bottom. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Keep going down. Keep going down. Look at the 8-hole hitter. Hitting 444, Miguel Montero. By the way, look at right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and then, of course, the pitcher, whoever he may be. There is a method to this Kirk Gibson madness, and Gonzo, you can help us understand a bit of it, I think.
Well, they have 3 lefties in their bullpen. I think what Gibby's trying to do is try to split it up a little bit so when those lefties come in late in the ball game, they don't get matched up against back-to-back left-handers. That puts a little bit more pressure on our righties because they have to produce when those left-handers are out there.
Love that pressure, and that is what Gibson talks about a lot. Willie Bloomquist has responded to the pressure of playing every day. He's hit in every single game in which he has played. That's 9 of them. As that breaking ball is just off the plate. And then, of course, our number is brought to you by Lincoln. So far, so good for Matt Cain. Remember, he did not allow an earned run in the postseason. 3 starts as well. So he has been cruising for a while.
Yeah, and he got out of the gates very well. I think he didn't give up an earned run here till his last start. So he's been pitching very well, and we're catching him at a hot streak right now. So let's hope we can cool him down today.
Pitched against St. Louis at home last time out. A no decision and eventual come from behind win as Bloomquist fouls it back. Went 7 innings. Struck out 4. Not a massive strikeout pitcher. In his career, he's about 7 per 9. But there's the key. He's a strike thrower. 1 walk in each of his last 6 road starts.
Strike thrower, and he's got a 3-run lead after the top of the first. So it's going to make him that much more tougher out there.
And he believes in his fastball. Mike Krukow came over here and joined us in our pregame show and talked about Cain. And he said it respectfully, understanding what Schilling could do with that much more fastball. But he said, reminds me a little bit of Schilling with how much he relies on his fastball.
Yeah, and that's just a guy pitching with confidence, and that's what Schilling did. Every time he took the mound, he had command of all his pitches. He knew what pitch was working well for him, and he stuck to it.
So now Kelly Johnson. Sandoval even with the bag at third. Fastball over the inside. 0-1 the count. There you go. That didn't take too long. Usually find one of those. You can find a number 20 jersey. Sometimes a number 17 as well. Inside. Johnson this year 174, was out early for some early batting practice. Hitless against Cain last year. 0 for 11 on the ground. That was that changeup diving down and away, and he rolled it over. So Kelly last year becomes this year so far against Cain defensively. Burrell, Rowan, Huff, honestly not a real solid defensive outfield. Sandoval, Tejada, Sanchez, Belt on the infield. Buster Posey again became a catcher his sophomore year of college. And is a fabulous catcher behind the plate. Again, the range not necessarily there, but there were questions about the outfield last October as well. Aubrey Huff, probably more than anyone, has scuffled in right field. Now Huff, Gonzo, gave up first base, maybe a better position for him, for now anyway, for Belt.
Yeah, and you know, last year I think when you look at the Giants, they were successful. It's almost like they had a late defensive club, almost like a football team, a fourth quarter team. Guys like Burrell and Huff would come out of the game, and some of their younger, better defensive players would come in to take over.
1-1 the count as Rowan looks on. His fellow outfielder Justin Upton, 4 for 10 in the St. Louis series with an incredible jaw-dropping homer. Right back through the box. Big part of the ballpark. All right, so we talk about Posey using the big part of the ballpark. Upton with a beautiful approach. Right back at him.
Yeah, it's a nice swing right there. He just stays on it, ball over the outer half, and just stayed right up the middle. Didn't try to pull that. Last year you would have seen him a lot of times trying to pull those pitches. His hitting coach, Don Baylor's been working very hard with him, trying to get him to stay towards the middle of the field.
That home run, by the way, and I'm sorry to interrupt, was measured at 478 feet a couple of nights ago. Longest home run in the big leagues to this point.
Kind of made me hungry to see where that ball landed.
Did it now. That changeup grabs the outside corner to Russell Branyan. So that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That's a long way up, folks, if you've never been here to Chase Field to see where that ball landed.
Branyan in the lineup again, righties and lefties all the way through, alternating. And when you get to the spot where Montero is, you start thinking, okay, if not Montero as a lefty, if you're going to alternate, then who? You're trying to get Kelly going, and you can educate us why you put a guy like that throughout the evening in the 2 spot. Branyan's kind of at no point could be an 8-hole hitter. That one is swung right through. And then so it comes down to Stephen Drew Montero. Which one of those guys bats in the 8th slot?
Well, and I think Don Baylor kind of touched on a little bit in the pregame show. He just said Montero's a guy who he's happy-go-lucky. He's just free-spirited. And I think he's not as sensitive as maybe some of the other guys are to moving around in the lineup.
Pitches high, 1-2 the count. I like that. Good frankness, good honesty there. And it started, you're just repeating what the hitting coach said, who is very honest about things. Big shift, by the way. Kirk Gibson sees Tejada, Sanchez, and Belt swung all the way around for his slugger. And literally, when I'm talking about Freddie Sanchez, I mean the rover. I mean, he looks like that softball player that used to run around in the outfield. There's Freddie there in shallow right. Got him with a fastball up and in. Branyan is done. A single for Upton, stranded. 3-0 Giants. Welcome you back to the ballpark. 3-0 San Francisco on top. Our Geico quote, and it comes from Bob Gibson on Jackie Robinson. If I were in Jackie Robinson's shoes, I probably never would have made it. Courtesy our good friends from Baseball Almanac. What a huge compliment. Hot shot out to his counterpart at short, Stephen Drew. And in time for the out. Tonight's game is presented in HD by Panasonic Vieira. It's that great story about Jackie meeting with the scout that found him, Clyde Sukeforth, who was in there representing him, and Branch Rickey, of course, and running things with the Dodgers, and having the foresight to send Jackie out into that situation as Matt Cain takes a strike. And just unleashing all sorts of what would be now very offensive speech. And Jackie said, "What do you want me to do?" as he clenched his fist behind his back. "Do you want me to just fight you right now? Do you want me to come unglued and get you?" The fist behind his back. And Rickey said very clearly, "I'm looking for someone with enough courage to not fight back, with enough self-control to not fight back. That takes more self-control than just slugging me right in the face." Branch Rickey, there was never a man in the game who could put mind and muscle together quicker and with better judgment than Robinson. And Gonzo, in that meeting, and folks at home, in that initial first meeting, it was his judgment they were looking at.
Well, he definitely was a character man to persevere through all that stuff that went on. He opened the doors for a lot of players.
Aaron Rowan digs in, swings to a good-looking changeup, and that's strike one. Well, a social impact that I don't think those of us in baseball are truly able to measure, a social impact. It reaches far beyond any sport that's ever been played, let alone the game of baseball. Kirk Gibson felt it his obligation as he began his press conference with the media before the game, as that one is in on the hands, good pitch, to share his research that he had done on Jackie Robinson. He said, I studied Jackie for about 45 minutes when I woke up this morning just to remind myself. Tells you a little something about Gibson. The 1-2. 2-2 the count.
Be nice right here for Hudson to get through this inning with a 1-2-3 inning here.
Yep, you asked for it, you got it. A 1-2-3 quick inning. Unfortunately, a 3-run homer from Panda in the first has the Giants on top.
Field, it's the Giants on top of Kirk Gibson's Diamondbacks 3-0, and more on what the Diamondbacks manager had to say about Jackie Robinson to start his pregame press conference today. He talked about the baseball player on the field, also his legacy off the field, but on the field, Robinson played 10 years, didn't make his debut until he was 28, 400 walks, only 200 strikeouts, and over 400 on-base percentage. Guys, just strictly the ball player. How impressive are those numbers?
Well, the numbers are impressive, and that's where Gibson started with meeting with the media today, going baseball guy first, and then reaching across society as Chris Young pops that one up. The infield pop-up, a little bit more of his kryptonite again this year. Still, though, hitting .292 as he starts the game.
Shortstop, number 42, Stephen Drew.
Duke Snider. He was the greatest competitor I've ever seen. I've seen him beat a team with his bat, his ball, his glove, his feet. In a game in Chicago, his mouth. Duke Snider. And remember, Joe Garagiola will be my color analyst tomorrow, and he will have his reflections on Jackie as well. 1-0 the count to Stephen Drew. 360 to start the year.
It's definitely a good start for him, missing the first series out there in Colorado, so he's rebounded very well.
Has come all the way back from that abdominal strain. 3-0 the count to Drew. And talking to Steven, it's a real abdominal strain, and when you think abdomen, think lower abdomen, then think lower abdomen. Not really comfortable.
And you look at the numbers there, 190 extra base hits. That's a lot for a middle infielder.
Steven will take a walk. Love Fulton Homes, they put together a donation with every home run to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association of $150. Keeping those in the wilderness that lose their way safe and the rescues that go on. So a very good thing. All right, the righty-lefty balance continues. Here's Melvin Moore. I think the changeup fooled everyone because it looked like a strike.
Did pretty good pitch right there.
Moore 7 of 25, 5 RBIs. Saw the Giants a lot last year as a member of the Rockies. Hit .306 against them. Couple of homers. Runner on the move back to the screen. I'll tell you, we've seen Steven running more in 1 week's time since coming back than we used to see him run in a month.
Yeah, and I think that's just those guys trying to be a little bit more aggressive, trying to push the envelope, especially early in the ball games.
Steven was one of those guys you had to get through to a little bit, right? To embrace that, wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that could be a sneaky 20-20 guy. 20 homers, 20 stolen bases in this league. Very easy for him to do.
Well, you start talking about maybe 10-plus triples, 30, 40-plus doubles. Those are some heady numbers. The 1-1 off the end of the bat. 1-2 the count. Matt Williams finally got that boot off his broken foot, so he's at least starting to move around a little bit. Glenn Sherlock has done a fabulous job coming in from the bullpen. No more boot for Matt. He's edging closer to those steps every time he moves around more. He's missed it, but Schultz has done a great job. Fastball is high, 2-2 the count.
Two count right here. Let's see if Moore can shoot something in that right center gap. We know Rowan's playing out in right center right now, but he can hit a line drive over in that hole out there.
Somewhat of the trademark attack of Melvin Moore. With that in mind, they're going to bully him in. But they did it with a change. It's interesting. You tell me, do you recollect catchers setting up inside for changeups much?
No, but I think they know more. He's got more of a track record late in the count when he's, with 2 strikes, he likes to use the other side of the field. So they're just trying to tie him up, hopefully get jammed and hit a ground ball.
Now again, one man's hard sinking fastball, another man's changeup, if you follow my drift. I mean, that was Gonzo and folks, although that was a changeup, that's 85 with sink.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He throws the ball very hard and very well. So when you're up there at the plate, you better be on your toes.
Let's watch Steven. Count is full. Here he goes. Up into the seats, up over our heads, and that's a souvenir. 3-0 the score. Luis Gonzalez, Mark McClune, and Darren Sutton. And we're glad to have you with us on this Friday night. Giants in for 3.
Here we see Drew taking his lead again. 3-2 count, 1 out.
On the move. He goes to right, as you said. Got under it a bit. So now, tonight anyway, the very best 8-hole hitter in baseball.
You see the swing there. Melvin Moore kind of inside out swing. Doesn't try to pull pitches too much with 2 strikes. Tries to use the other side of the field. Just got under it.
16 hits and 36 at bats. 2 homers, 5 RBIs.
part of a Diamondbacks attack that is far superior at this point. It's only 11 games to that of last year. 5.8 runs a game. There he is. You don't see many everyday players hitting 444, batting 8th. That pitch is low. Diamondbacks' first 11 games hitting 293 as a team. At this point in the season, far and away the best they've ever started. Next closest a couple of times in the 270s.
Now the interesting part here is if he hits a ball in the gap, you almost have to send Drew from coming around the bases to try to score him with the pitcher on deck.
Quickly explain to our fans the difference in hitting 8th compared to everywhere else.
Well, when you're hitting 8th and you have the pitcher behind you, sometimes they pitch around you and hope that you get yourself out, because more times than not the offensive the pitchers aren't very good at the offense, so they'd rather take their chance and face the pitcher.
On the ground, he went after a sinking fastball inside, rolls it out. Other challenge of what Gonzo is talking about is that you expand your zone sometimes as well. Teams that repeat, you have to go all the way back to the 99-2000 New York Yankees. And in that time, 9 different teams over the last decade have followed up in winning the World Series. So with that in mind, will the Giants repeat as world champions? The odds are against you if you say yes, but are you willing to vote yes? 36929. Or do you take the field, the other 29 teams in Major League Baseball, and say no? It's hard to repeat, isn't it? You've been in those shoes.
It really is. It's a hard thing to do.
3-0 the score. How good was the 2002 team in comparison to that of 01? Looking back in hindsight, of course, speaking of Diamondbacks, folks. Upton is there. How do you remember those two teams against one another?
Well, I mean, we battled through some injuries through the year, and we made it to the playoffs again, but when we got into the playoffs, we were the wounded. I mean, everybody was going down. We lost a couple pitchers. I got hurt with a week to go in the season, sliding for a ball in left field where I had to have shoulder surgery. So we went into the playoffs pretty much limping in. So it was going to be tough to repeat.
Changeup misses outside to Aubrey Huff. Yeah, the different teams that have made the playoffs, the different teams that have won the World Series, as that one is a mile high. Huff. Branyan, Johnson get together, and Kelly sticks with it and puts it away. But we have now reached the point in Major League Baseball as we see this again.
Pop fly, everybody running in under it right here. Somebody going to call it. Johnson's got it. Sky high fly ball right there.
But you really can't get away with saying anymore, oh, it's the Yankees every year. Get tired of hearing about the Yankees as that's a strike. When you go down the list and it says Giants, Yankees, Phillies, Red Sox, Cardinals, White Sox, Red Sox, Marlins, Angels, Diamondbacks. In on the knuckles. Boy, Buster Posey, that ate him up. I don't think they'll repeat. Sorry to all those Giants fans out there. Not allowing him to get his hands extended. This is textbook, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Hudson's pitched well the last 2 innings. Here you see that fastball just barreling in on his hands. Posey unable to get extension right there. And that hurt. Right off the handle. Nice ground ball right there to Kelly Johnson. That's frustrating for a hitter right there when you're geared up to hit a good fastball and that ball just barrels in right under your hands.
Boy, Hudson again finding a way just to settle right on down.
And that's been his reputation. I mean, his first couple innings usually hurts him, and then he settles into the game like he's doing again tonight.
Oh, and 1 the counter, Daniel, as he takes high. Hudson 2 of 4 this year. He's got a couple of hits. 191 with a pair of doubles. Doesn't strike out much in his 31 big league at bats, just 8 times. To right field, Huff racing. It's by him. Well, he manages to cut it off. It drops in. But Hudson, how about that? 3 of 5 this year now.
He's definitely got the edge advantage on the hitter's pool in the clubhouse.
Good lesson to be learned from all hitters. Take that and just use the big field. Go the other way with it. Let's see if the Diamondbacks can get something started offensively. And do so with their pitcher. Here's Willie Bloomquist, struck out back in the first. Anytime the Diamondbacks score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink. 4-6 the following day.
Willie tried to jump on that first fastball, missed it, fouled it straight back.
Over the top of a changeup into the dirt, 0-2 the count. That's why he tried to jump on the fastball, isn't it?
It is. You have to, because he's got all 3 or 4 quality pitches up there, and When you get that first heater, you try to jump on it early, and I think you're going to see more of our Diamondbacks when they get that fastball. They're going to try to take a good pass at it.
Kane feels like he has you eating out of his hands if you don't cash in. In on the hands. He has hit in every game in which he has played as a Diamondback. All 9 of them. 4 of those games are multi-hit games. 5 of those games are games in which he also has a stolen base. That pitch is up and away. Go back to 2008 and you see 3 teams that have really pitched as starters. The Dodgers, the Cardinals, number 1, and these San Francisco Giants. Giants' second best ERA in the National League since '08, tied with the Dodgers. St. Louis, number 1. Love another shot at that one.
Got a good pitch out there, out over the outer half, try to slap the other way.
What do you like about Willie, watching him play?
I just like his he plays hard every single day. He's not one of those guys that's going to wow you. He's almost a Craig Counsell type player. Just goes out there, scratches hard, plays hard every single night. And you see him now, he's second in the league in stolen bases.
1-2 the count. Broke his bat, it's rolled out to Sandoval. Sandoval fires. Sanchez tries to turn it, can't do it. Because of that broken bat. We've seen this a couple of times with Hudson, running the bases like a base runner.
See the turn right there. Hudson going in hard. Bloomquist beating the throw to first. We'll take that trade out right there. We'll definitely like to get that pitcher off the field and get Bloomquist out at first base.
So let's see. Let's see if it is on, down 3-0. Kelly Johnson. Bloomquist reaching on the fielder's choice. So I asked you about the 8 slot with Miguel. Why maybe Kelly, is this a good night for him in the 2 spot tonight?
Well, because Bloomquist has been running quite a bit right here. You leave that hole open between first and second. And not only that, early in the game, if there's no outs, if Bloomquist steals second, then he could try to pull a pitch to get him to third, try to get an easy RBI.
1-1.
See Kelly right there trying to hook that ball. You always like when you're a left-handed hitter and you have that first baseman holding that runner off. That gives you a huge hole right there between first and second.
Spoken like a man who has stood in that side of the box many a time. 1-1 the count. Kelly not off to the start that he wants, certainly. Hammered the Giants last year. And a good take on a changeup down and away. Last year he had 25 hits against San Francisco. That was a .357 mark. Homered 3 times against the Giants.
Yeah, he definitely got out of the gates fantastic last year at this time. He had about 8 or 9 homers at the end of April.
Changeup. 2-2. He was hitting early today. Kelly was out on the field. He and Gerardo Parra with a curveball machine. This is a changeup. And he said, it's not necessarily, Darren, because I'm not hitting curveballs well. I'm not hitting much of anything, he said. It's a pitch that has me following all the way through. He goes, with a slower pitch, I stay back and have to follow the ball all the way through. That was not a curveball. That was a fastball. It was strike 3 over the inside corner. Stolen base by Bloomquist, but a big second out.
He took a fastball right there over the inner half, and I guarantee you that's because he missed those changeups earlier in the count. He's got that in the back of his mind. When you could throw those pitches for strikes, you start looking for it, and then boom, he slipped the fastball right by him right there.
It's a funny thing with Kane and his changeup. You know, we can talk about that he's a guy that believes in his fastball. He's thrown it 6 out of every 10 times this year. You see where Willie is now with 7 stolen bases. But his changeup usage is way up. That fastball sinks in. Quarter of his pitches in his 2 starts have been changeups.
And he's been effective with it. He's thrown it for strikes. And like I said a little while ago, if you could throw those pitches for strikes, the hitter starts thinking about all those other pitches. I was a guy, I used to always look fastball and try to adjust from it, but a lot of hitters go up there thinking something else, trying to see one pitch and hit it.
Buster Posey, when he exploded onto the scene last year out of Florida State, was 23 years old. Justin Upton this year is 23 years old. He is off to a fabulous start. Strikeouts are way down, or better said, strikeout rate is way down. Off to the makings, the early stages of what you hope is a breakout season.
He's got a good count right here in 2-0. See if we can get something to drive and get one of these runs back. Staying away from him.
A lot of counting stats in here, but certainly doing very well to begin his career. The rankings of those under 24. He's a beneficiary of a young man at that graphic of getting a young start in the major leagues. Perfect pitch.
He's trying to keep him off balance, in and out, in and out.
All of the 42s. 49 pitches for Kane. And again, about a third of them have been changeups today. Just a handful of sliders. 6 out of 10 fastballs today, which is what he's been doing all year, but even more changeups. That's a breaking ball. He thought about it, but you can't make that out at third, can you?
No, you really can't right there. Posey does a nice job of keeping that in front. Willie's trying to react to the pass ball. He sees it doesn't skip away too far from Posey. He gets right back to second. He knows already he's in scoring position, so all Upton has to do is try to scratch a single right here to try to get him in.
Just 4 of 17 in his career, now 5 of 18 against Kane. Bouncing ball, pulled it, had him out front of another changeup. On across the diamond, Upton leaves him stranded. Has rolled against these Diamondbacks throughout his career, whether he's Big Pablo from last year or whether he is the littler version of the Panda as he was earlier tonight. Either way, Gonzo, both pretty swings.
Yeah, and they're both on the inner half, so Pablo he likes to get extension in there on that inner half. Curious to see what's going to happen here. They're going to go away from him.
Fastball away, 1-0 the count.
Learned their lesson after that first at bat right there.
They started to send the message to Sandoval to get in better shape in the postseason. That one is lifted up into the seats. As we bring in Mark McClune, we remind all our viewers, and Mark, that Mike Fontenot was a starting third baseman a lot in the postseason. That sent a message, didn't it, Mark, to Sandoval?
Yeah, it certainly did. It started the first day of the offseason. I've been talking to the MLB production crew down here that actually followed Sandoval around and the rest of the Giants in the offseason. They say he ate 5 meals a day. He took food with him when he went home to Venezuela, and he would only go 3 days at a time. He did that twice. He stayed here in the Phoenix area in his quest to lose 40 pounds. He ate the 5 meals a day. He worked out, listen to this, 11 hours a day. He would run a mountain in Tempe 6 times. The first time up, it took him 10 minutes walking. The final time up, it took him 1:45 sprinting. He was motivated by playing just one game in the World Series last year.
He watched a lot of games. I had a chance to cover that first round when Fontenot was sent over there to play a lot of third base. A guy who doesn't hit home runs at all. Very sure-handed, but a role player, utility player. I don't know if I'm buying the 11 hours a day.
Yeah.
But he looks much better.
Well, I tell you what, when you have a job and you lose it like he did, and you go to the World Series and win the World Series, that's a wake-up call to a player. And he's done everything he's had to do to dedicate his career back to getting his career back on track.
Nothing over the wide of the plate and missed way inside on the final pitch.
And Hudson, his second and third inning were quick ones. Let's hope he can get a ground ball double play. A couple dangerous hitters coming up.
Burrell walked back in the first inning. So Pat's best ever season was in Philly back in 2002. 37 homers that year. That one sails outside.
And Burrell's been kind of a streaky hitter at times. When he gets hot, he can carry a ball club.
It's just the image I have in my mind of watching last year's games of Burrell playing his first 6 or 7 innings, and the moment defense was more important, Nate Shearholz went on, and he immediately, Pat Burrell, planted himself on the top step for all the remaining innings, cheering for his teammates. 2-2 the count. Thrilled to have the opportunity. There's Nate Shearholz, a great arm, a fine defender, can play anywhere, and he's the one that comes into question when Ross gets healthy. If in fact you're going to keep Brandon Belt, he would be grabbed in a second if he were to be made available.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Ross, Torres, another guy who plays defense very well out there. Those guys, they get after it out in that outfield, especially at the ballpark in San Francisco. That's a big, roomy area out there, so you definitely need guys that can cover some ground.
2-2 the count. Helped him out, chased up and out of the zone. Big strikeout after the Sandoval walk.
Up in the zone right there. Power hitters tend to like that ball about eye high right there. It looks good, but you can't catch up to it.
And we were talking about Andres Torres. The Giants were hoping to get his Achilles better, maybe play him by tomorrow or Sunday. And it didn't respond. So Torres, who for my money should have won a Gold Glove last year and did so many good things for Bruce Bochy's club, they ended up putting him on the disabled list. It's retroactive back to April 10th with that Achilles. So Darren Ford comes up. Torres goes on the DL.
Yeah, and I think what that does too is it also buys a little bit more time for a young player like Belt.
Now you put it all together as Belt gets a base hit. Very, very good point, Gonzo. That's interesting, as they hope to maybe get him 100 in bats to see what they have. Our trivia question on this Jackie Robinson Day, it's brought to you by AT&T. Who is the one to follow next? The next African American to follow Jackie Robinson to play in the major leagues? Think American League. So here is Miguel Tejada. And I I would imagine as Tejada takes outside, Giants fans like that philosophy that are watching here in the Valley, that you can't have a guy like Torres and not playing for 7, 8, 9 games. You may as well DL him, and at the same time, there he is looking on. The young man that you've got to make a decision on soon. As you said, Ford probably goes down first.
Yeah, and I'm sure Belt has a bright future ahead of him, so they really want to see if, okay, he might have got out of the gate slow, he's going to pick it up. So if he does get hot, that's a good problem to have for the Giants.
He was 3 of 10, Belt was, with 2 walks in that Dodgers series. He's got another hit, so 4 for his last 12. The 1-1. In on his knuckles, somehow kept that ball fair. I have no idea how he did that. 93 in on his hands, and the Giants lead it 4-0. You've got to be so aware inside, it's crazy. That's almost the same pitch that Posey couldn't do anything with.
See him setting up inside. He just drew his hands in and just got the barrel through the zone there. Just got enough of it.
Am I crazy? I mean, that's the same pitch to Posey.
Well, there's no doubt on that swing there. He wasn't looking to try to go the other way. He was dead pull hitter right there.
So now you have Matt Cain. You have the infield all the way in. And a fastball that misses away. And the game at this point with Matt Cain pitching hanging in the balance right now. We've seen the Diamondbacks club fight back and come back. That one is up and away.
Yeah, and I mean, Hudson struggled in the first, mowed him down in the second and third, and here he is again in the fourth. He's just struggling with his command. And actually made a good pitch on Tejada. He was just able to fight it off just over Mora's glove out there into left field.
Into right field. Here comes Upton. Makes the play at his shoot tops. That won't drive the run in. Over the head off the cutoff man, but there to block it up is Miguel Montero. Well, that's a huge second out.
Huge second out and a nice play right there by Upton. That ball gets by him. Everybody scores. Call that a sinking liner right there. He makes a nice play, just staying with it. Of course, Upton known with a good arm out there in right field. They're not going to challenge that arm early in the ball game.
Breaking ball dives down and away, a rare slider. 1-0 the count, 4-0 the Giants lead it. Swing and a miss. The last time Daniel Hudson allowed 5 runs or 4 runs, either one in a game, as a starting pitcher was July 25th, 2010. He was a member of the White Sox. It was against Oakland. It was last July. He pitched in another league. In on the hands, he had gone on an amazing roll as a Diamondback. 1-2 the count.
Rowan's been sitting 0-2, 1-2 all day today already, and this is his third at bat of the ball game.
Got him. Well, he cleaned it up a little bit. He did allow a run, though. Miguel Tejada somehow hit that fastball in. Let us answer the trivia question. The next African American after Jackie to play in the major leagues with the Indians, Larry Doby. Remember baseball's Hall of Fame, inducted in 1998. And certainly, you think about recent portions and eras in the game of baseball. Above anything else, I hate to lose. A quote from Jackie Robinson. 1-0 the count, Russell Branyan. There's that big shift again. Did you ever look at one of those, Gonzo?
Quite a bit.
And you told yourself what? Don't change anything?
Just try not to change, because you start seeing that, try to do something different, you end up getting yourself out.
High fly. He just got into that one. Follow the Diamondbacks with MLB.com and Bat 11 for your iPhone, your iPad, your Droid, your BlackBerry. It's a great app. I have it. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit dbacks.com for details. Bottom of the fourth inning, 4-0, the Giants lead it. Matt Cain in his career against Arizona has a 3.28 ERA in 17 starts. He's got 3 strikeouts. It's a nice number. He's not striking out the world, though.
He's really pitching to contact. And then you look at our guy in Hudson, he's got 7 strikeouts, and he's losing the ball game 4-0. So it just goes to show you how this game goes.
Changeup is away. Another changeup. You go back to August 1st of last year. That's when Hudson joined the Diamondbacks. And up here, we don't allow the softer 6 innings, 3 runs to be called a quality start, because that's a 4.5 ERA. We like 7 innings and 3 runs. In on the hands, lifted the left. That's an easy chance. That one is put away out there by Burrell. Going back to that time, King Felix Hernandez reached that mark 10 times, 7 and 3, and Daniel Hudson. Number 1, those 2 in baseball. So for him to even give up 4 is a stunner, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and he's had quality starts. Just about everyone but this one, so you know he's due for a mulligan once in a while.
And of course, Felix Hernandez, the Cy Young Award winner last year in the American League, reminding us that wins and losses aren't that important. Which is flipped up into the seats, and that's interesting. That brings to mind the next subject matter. We now have grown in covering this game enough to realize that Matt Cain is really, really, really good, despite being 58 and 62 in his career. If we just looked at that, we wouldn't know how great he was, would we?
No, but what he does, he pitches aggressive, and he's kind of deceptive out there. Not only that, but he pitches in a pretty tough ballpark to hit in.
So takes advantage of it. Quest high-speed internet, high-speed pitch.
And he was a victim also of his offense not scoring runs for him for a while.
Well, Daniel Hudson and his support has had 2 runs scored for him this year to this point. A young man by the name of Dustin Mosley, who pitches for the Padres. He hasn't had any runs scored for him yet this year. Any. In 3 starts. He's 0-3 with a ERA of $1.50. Right down the middle.
Well, Darren, speaking from experience, that's where you need to take your offense out to dinner.
Really? Okay. So that's what it is. He's a little bit cheap there when it comes to the check coming. Not Daniel now,
I'm not saying cheap, but a nice steak dinner will do it a couple times there.
Okay.
Get your team fired up.
So you hear that, Dustin Mosley? If you happen to be watching, San Diego is wrapped up in Houston. I'm sure he's watching on his app on his Droid.
And for a guy like that, all you're asking for is one. Just take him out, You don't have to go big. Take them somewhere smaller and just say, just get me one run, guys. That's all I need.
Just one. You know, I know Randy Johnson had a hard time sometimes getting runs scored from him. It would frustrate him. Would he not take you guys out to dinner? Is that why? Or
pretty good chance we weren't getting dinner from Randy.
3-2 has popped up into the seats.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Full count. I just read the teleprompter up here. Don't mind me. The 3-2. Steven chops it. This won't be easy. He has to play it back. Handcuffed. Boy, what a dig at first. Brandon Belt was there to clean it right up. Tejada ended up playing it back. And Drew running hard the whole way. Steven pretty disappointed with that call by Dale Scott. Let's see. Well, hello there, folks. Getting ready to go back to work. Freddie Sanchez. Fastball in on those knuckles. Long run. Sliding. Kelly Johnson with a fine play.
That's a great play right there by Kelly Johnson, knowing where he's at on the ball field and just making a nice sliding play.
Number 42 on his back. What a fabulous night. Let's get it on down with that in mind to Mark McClune. Mark?
Yeah, that's right, here with Jackie Robinson scholar, 3 TV forecaster, Brittany Shipp throughout the first pitch tonight, and your involvement with the Jackie Robinson Foundation goes way back. How has Jackie Robinson impacted your life?
Well, in just a huge way. In 1973, his wife started the Jackie Robinson Foundation, and they give huge scholarships. We're talking up to $30,000 per student. Plus, they take you to New York once a year, so it goes further than the money. It's about a networking weekend. It's about family sessions, internship opportunities. So it's a comprehensive program, and it's just amazing to be out here wearing the number 42 jersey and representing the foundation.
You wore that number 42 jersey, and throughout the first pitch tonight, how did that go?
I think it went a little too well, if we have the video. Everyone told me all day, don't throw it too short. So that's what I was concentrating on, and guess what I did? I threw it over his head, and I mean way over.
That's why you have to wear baseball spikes on a baseball field. These high heels won't cut it.
I know. I wore the high heels, and I think it threw my whole height perception off, but it was fun to be out there.
Well, you're out here with some other foundation members who are volunteering with the raffle tonight. Pretty exciting. You can win quite a bit of cash at Chase Field.
You can win a couple $1,000s. So here are all the raffle tickets, and we've been running around the stand selling them for only $2. So we hope to raise thousands of dollars. Half will go back to the foundation. The other half will go to a lucky raffle winner.
$2 can win $2,000. I'd like to take. I'd like to take 5 right now.
5 right now.
Marvin, can you sell me some too?
Absolutely. It's a great cause. Please get those raffle tickets.
That's right.
Marvin, also a Robinson scholar. So back to the booth, having some fun down here in the stands, and if I win, we're all going out on me after the game.
I like that.
Very good stuff. Don't let him go as Buster Posey takes away. Mark, we need more. You buy the 5, that's $10 worth. Buy 10 more for Gonzo and I.
All right, we'll do.
So if you'll do, and we'll pay you back. Do you have 20 on you? We promised.
Yeah, I got.
How much do you have there, Mark?
Gonzo's meal money here,
Yeah.
so it won't open. I don't know why it won't open.
Make sure Brittany checks that dollar bill with sunglasses on it, all right? Because that one hadn't seen the sun in a while.
That's ours. We'll give you that 20 back now. Now get yourself $10 worth when the camera goes off you, so you don't feel pressured to. Very good, Mark McClune. Kind of put him on the spot there. Not everyone carries cash in this cashless society. All right, Gonzo, you and I will split the winnings and then
we got it.
Give them right back.
We got it.
1-1 the count. I'll save enough though to buy you a steak dinner so I can get some run support later on down the road. 1-1 the count. Buster Posey up and in. Posey, pitch away, hit it right back through the box. Next at bat, pitch way in and was tied up. 2-2 the count.
We'll take a tied up right here to get a ground ball double play because he's definitely getting up during his pitch counts.
Grew up in Georgia, Leesburg, Georgia. Played in some big high school baseball tournaments against Jason Hayward. Line drive, base hit left field. And so Posey with a couple of hits. As a changeup looked like it got over the plate. Kept his hands back as long as he could, so he is 2 of 3.
He's just got a nice, calm, compact swing. He doesn't try to do too much. Sees it out over the outer half. He just stays right through the ball.
Mike Martin Jr. was his assistant coach in college. Father Mike Martin, the head coach. And that's who essentially taught Buster how to catch in college. Down and in with the slider. Doesn't throw many, but threw a slider down and in.
He puts a little wrinkle in it. Before he was trying to come in there with that fastball.
Pablo walked and hit a 3-run homer in the first inning. Back in there.
Trying to tie him up again. Got runners in scoring position.
Mark McClune reporting earlier that Pablo Sandoval on occasion would work out 11 hours a day this winter.
Is that possible?
I don't think so. My guess is, like most of us that have lost a few pounds, you just push away from the table a bit more. But he looks in great shape. A smile on his face today. That is quite a locker room to visit. It is not a boring place. And the cameras for the documentaries weren't even on. The 1-2. 2-2 the count. There's an interesting card game going on that had Tim Lincecum, Brian Wilson, and then the young man, Brandon Belt, all playing cards together.
Probably trying to take the young kids' money early.
I think so. Though Mr. Lincecum and Mr. Wilson they're hanging, they're doing okay as you see this last pitch up and in.
Get him thinking about that inside pitch here. See what Hudson's going to come back with a 3-2 count.
Change up here?
Possibly.
Couple of runners on. Runners go. And that slider again. Very interesting.
I tell you, if he's going to throw it, he better keep it in there, tying him up, because if he gets that one out over the plate, like we said earlier in the broadcast, Sandoval feels really good hitting in this ballpark.
Runners go. Fastball. Blew him away. And it's thrown away. Into left field. Oh, boy, does that hurt. The third throwing error this season from behind home plate, catcher Miguel Montero.
Fastball running away right there. You see Sandoval cheating for that pitch in. Pretty good throw right there for a catcher to make with a left-handed hitter. He just sailed on him.
Five to nothing the score. Change of pace. 1-2 the count. Boy, pushing the buttons too and being aggressive on the base paths. Two and two the count. Change up, did he? He knew it. Fires that bat away, but the San Francisco Giants cash in on a throwing error and lead it 5-0. Chinko is. It's great. Brought to you by Gila River Casinos. Find out and learn how you can play right here at Chase Field. Go to the interactive kiosk near section 111 during the Diamondbacks regular season home games. It's Gila River Casinos. And it's Kachinko. Look forward to doing a game from out there in the next home stand. Ought to be a lot of fun. Melvin Moore takes a pitch away. Boy, a high strike up and away. 2-0 the count. Or check that, 1-1 the count. Moore a fly to right field.
High, got under a breaking ball. Slow curveball. Pat Burrell is there. I'm told you can get your own Racing Gracie from the D-backs Legends race. Love that name, Racing Gracie. Be the first bobblehead giveaway this season. Pick up a bobblehead courtesy of Hinkle on Thursday, April 28th for the D-backs Cubs game. Well planned. For tickets, call 602-462-4790 or visit dbacks.com/giveaway. Look at this. 3G weekend. Look at that panel. That's a good looking graphic. I mean, that's a guest list that would make Jerry Springer proud right there. Joe will be with us tomorrow. Gracie back in on Sunday. And all of you at home are the lucky ones to get 3 very different, unique perspectives of the game. You like doing this up here, Gonzo?
I do. I enjoy it.
Game
looks a lot easier up here.
It does, doesn't it? Swinging right through it. Trying to make up for that miscue, isn't he, with that swing?
Yeah, he is. Sometimes he gets out of his element a little bit. He knows it. There's nobody out there on that field that feels worse after making a throwing error like that than he did.
In that unique 8 spot in the order. Pitch is high and away.
You got to give the Giants a little bit of credit there. They were running Sandoval, left-handed hitter, trying to make something happen there.
Popped up and into the seats. Josh Colmenter will be looking to make his major league debut. Right-hander. I'm not sure if they're knowing what they're deciding yet. Hudson has a bat. He's in the on-deck circle. At some point we'll get to see him. And he was starting down there, so he can eat some time up. Down in AAA, Reno, as that one is inside. 3-2 the count. And when you see Colmenter, you will enjoy him, because he comes from right over the top. That one is outside. That's ball 4. So Hudson takes a look back. No. He's got 9 strikeouts, by the way, Gonzo. It hasn't been a pretty game, but he's got 9 Ks.
Yeah, he made that one mistake early in the game to Sandoval. That fastball, he tried to come in and just ran back out over, and Sandoval extended on that one. But for the most part, you know, he's been dominating those guys. He's got a couple tied up hits too.
You bounce around the thought in your mind hitting for him right here, or do they think he handles the bat well enough and they want to give him one more inning?
Well, I don't know. It looks like he was squared around a bunt, so they probably want to try to give him one more inning. But I mean, we're down 5-0.
Bunts that to the right side. Kane is there. The pen has had to work a lot lately. Maybe that's the other part of it. 19 innings in their last 4 games.
And him and Hudson and Upton are the only 2 guys that really hit the ball well off of him so far today, for the only 2 hits that we have.
Willie Bloomquist. There's the work for that bullpen, though again Colmenter is much more fresh and could go longer. Josh pitched in 4 games for the Diamondbacks this spring, pitched well. Well, it's time. We're going to break through against this co-ace. It's time to get it going now. And you think about Kane, since the start of the 09 season, one of the best starting pitchers in the National League. Got a 2.97 ERA. Best is his teammate Tim Lincecum in that time at 2.79. That puts him in the top 6 in the National League. That pitch is high. One and one the count, Willie.
Just keep making them work. Throw those pitches.
Where's he at? 80? 80 is the pitch count in 5 innings.
Changeup really babied that one in there. 2-1. 26-year-old right-hander, born in Alabama, drafted in the first round out of high school in Germantown, Tennessee, and signed just a couple of weeks after he was drafted. He wanted to get to work and play ball. Still only 26. Chase is out of the zone. Slider 2-2.
It's hard to believe. It seems like a lot of these guys have been around for a long time. And then you look at a guy like Cody Ross, another veteran guy who's been around, local guy here from Scottsdale. And then you've got so many players out there that have got so many years of experience on this ball club, and that paid huge dividends for them winning a championship last year.
2-2. Up to the right side, up and into the seats it goes. ASU fans, put on your Sun Devils gear. Check out FoxSportsArizona.com tomorrow, 7:15 in the morning. It's Pat's Run. And then at 2:15, the inside scoop on ASU football team during a spring practice scrimmage. And the baseball team takes on Washington State at 6:30. Devil of a Day on FoxSportsArizona.com. Two balls and two strikes. Bouncing ball right back to the box. Kane is there, and he fires in time for the out. What's going on with Randy down there? Randy coming up a little bit short, and Matt Williams, despite that still healing foot, comes around and wins the Legends race. And that's like jumping for joy for Matt Williams there. I mean, he may as well have pom-poms. That's what we like to call a large show of emotion for Matt Williams.
Was he happy? I missed that. Was he?
Well,
he gave a smirk.
Yeah, that's as much as he has there. Long run for Kelly Johnson. He's played a solid second base. There was a little bit more of a smile, but otherwise that was essentially the look. But then with a tiny smile. And you could hardly see it. And you were up here, meantime, just celebrating another loss for Gracie.
Starting to become a habit around here.
Well, I'm proud of it. I love it. It's something that, as Tejada takes low, 1-0 the count. I've been blamed, and he blames me, and I'll take all the blame in the world. I'm proud of that. Never has won a race. About 0-60 over the outside corner. By the way, very quietly, we need to point it out again, 9 strikeouts as he works here in the 6th inning. Now, he would trade every strikeout to have it be a 0-0 game. Belted.
Okay, so I think we're convinced Tejada's looking in, looking to pull the ball.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's not looking to go the other way.
But just the hit that he had last time, if you folks missed it, he drove in a run with a base hit to left field, and the pitch was riding in, and he was ready for it. Same pitch. I mean, picture this. Posey couldn't hit it at all. Whoa, he went to right field.
He just flipped it out there on that one. There's
He fooled
no doubt.
him.
Yeah.
The Coyotes take on the Red Wings, Game 3 of the Western Conference quarterfinals Monday on Fox Sports Arizona. It's a whiteout. It starts at 6:30. 1-hour edition of Quest Yotes live pregame show from the Plaza at Westgate. That again is Game 3. The Red Wings, the Coyotes, Monday on Fox Sports Arizona. Right over the outside corner to Matt Cain.
Yeah, we definitely got to get those Coyotes going here on the playoffs.
The 0-1. Outside to the backstop it goes. Cain struck out twice, swinging, looking. Matt's homered 4 times in his big league career. 1-2 the count, trying to reach 10 strikeouts is Hudson. Got him with a slider. Time to get something going. We miss you, Gonzo, but Drew. Huh. And part of the reason is the pitching of the right arm of Matt Cain. The 26-year-old right-hander has been strong. He has been effective. Southwest.com pitch count 84 pitches for Cain. As he faces Kelly Johnson, Justin Upton, and Russell Branyan. Cain last time out, his team beat St. Louis. He received a no decision. Then he pitched 6 shutout innings in his first start of the year. Received 10 runs of support in a 10-0 win over the Dodgers. He probably has no idea what 10 runs of support even looks like. As that changeup is away. That's been the other constant, command of that changeup tonight.
It really has. He's been able to throw, even his breaking ball, he's been able to throw for strikes.
Kind of the second time through, right? He maybe kept that in his back pocket for a bit.
Well, it helps when your team runs out there and throws a 3 spot up for you early in the ball game. That gives your team confidence, and it gives the pitcher confidence before he even goes out there and takes the field to strike the mound. You've got a 3-run lead.
Buried that fastball in on the hands of Kelly Johnson. Pablo Sandoval puts that one to bed. So Kelly, his tough start to the season continues. You have to feel he'll get it going soon. This time, though, couldn't catch up with that one.
Right field, Justin Upton.
Gets a pitch right here on the inner half. Just couldn't get extended out there quick enough. Pops it up to Sandoval.
So you look at the work Kane has done. His pitches tonight now, 50% have been fastballs, 30% changeups, and as you said, the usage of the breaking ball has gone up over the last few innings. There's what you're talking about. There's a difference right there.
And that's just to show the guys, oh, by the way, guys, I've got one of those too, just to show them.
Justin Upton singled and grounded out to third. 23 years old, out of Norfolk, Virginia. As that one is outside. Great Bridge High School. One and one the count. Arizona's #1 pick in 2005. By 2007, he was in the big leagues and in the postseason. And was quite a ways away from being legal to buy a celebratory cold beverage of the adult variety after a ball game. Had to wait several years for that, but still was dealing with the pressure of the big leagues. We look at Kane and we talk about how young he still is.
Tell you look around the major leagues, there's a lot of great young players in this league now.
That pitch misses. But we say, well, Kane feels like he's been around for a long time. He's still just 26. It's because he was pitching in the big leagues as a starter at 20. And there will come a point when Justin Upton is 26 and folks say, boy, it seems like he's been here forever. Bouncing ball, diving attempt, no chance, not from his knees. He made it close. But with the speed of Upton, you really had no chance. A fine effort there by the big fella.
It's a nice play right there by Sandoval. There's no way in the world that Tejada would have even had a chance at that. So that was the only play right there. Sandoval trying to cut that ball off.
So Justin Upton is 2 for 3 tonight. And is hitting .319. All right, put your rally caps on at home. That's all right. Well, here in the 6th inning, maybe knock one into the pool somewhere. He was thinking about it. 0-1 the count to Russell Branyan.
Couple runs right here would be nice. Get us within striking distance.
High fly center field. Rolling on the move. Got it. Never really was able to get in the position he wanted to, but still ended up with a baseball in his glove. A couple of years removed from winning a Gold Glove.
Never takes his eye off the ball right there. Nice play by Rowan.
Chris Young popped to short, fly to left field. Daniel Hudson, another story tonight, has tied his career high with 10 strikeouts. That one sails up and in.
Kane's at 96 pitches right now, and he really seems like he's been command all night of this ball game.
On the move, throw down, safe. Very close. single can get a run on that board. Two stolen bases for Upton this year.
Close play right there. Freddie trying to show a quick tag. Freddie Sanchez. Posey wanted him. Not able to get him.
See if Young can find the big part of the ballpark somewhere.
We just haven't seemed to be getting any good swings off of him all day.
One and two the count. So 0 for 8 in this game. Hitters against Kane with runners on base. This season, 1 for 28 opposing teams with runners on base against Kane. Popped up. Does it take a Texas leaguer to get it done? Or is it 1 for 29? D-backs baseball brought to you by Fry's. Like us on Facebook during tonight's game. Receive a coupon for huge saving. Fry's. Fresh food, famous low prices. Sonic, America's drive-in. It's new. It's better. It's the new Sonic Good. Don't forget Fox Sports Arizona and Fox Supports Arizona recognizes the Phoenix Children's Hospital. Keep Our Planet Neat and Recycle Your Car Seat program. Now, Friday, April 22nd, from 8 to noon at Tempe Marketplace. Drop by that used car seat. It will be dismantled, recycled. For more information, visit PhoenixChildren's.com. Brought to you by Sagicor Life Insurance Company. Texas-born right-hander Samuel Vincent Demmel, born in the great state of Texas in October 1985. He goes to work. Our Verizon call to the bullpen. Brought to you by 4G. And you can see this year, 4.79 ERA. Spotty work for a man with an electric fastball. Lance Berkman knocked him out of the yard against an outing with the Cardinals. But it's a cutter, it's a sinker, it's a slider, and really nothing straight. That one is up and away.
Well, I tell you, the guy who might be the happiest that Hudson's out of the game is the guy at the plate right now.
Good call.
He struggled against him all day. He's 0 for 3 on the day with 3 strikeouts off of Hudson.
Rowan having a nice start to the year as well. Still with those struggles, he's hitting .333. Sinker, ground ball. And in time for the out. They spent the early part of spring training making sure that Demmel believed in that sinking fastball, that two-seamer, because that's what you get.
Second baseman, Freddie Sanchez.
And not just that cut fastball. Obtained last year in a deal that sent Connor Jackson to Oakland. It was in June in Boston. And Demel immediately made his major league debut at Fenway Park a couple of days after. Over the inside corner.
Hard-working guy, too. He comes to the ballpark every day prepared. He works hard, and he's ready to go every night, waiting for his number to get called.
Breaking ball grabs the outside corner. That's a slider out of that same slot. Jackson, by the way, Connor in Oakland, as we see that pitch, high but a strike. Cutter off to a .292 start this season. He's played in 7 games for the A's. That one is up and away, and in case you're curious, where is he playing? Well, he has started Connor Jackson 4 times in right, a time in left. Connor Jackson has a couple of innings at third base this year.
I'd like to see that.
Would you?
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, probably in a pinch. They pushed him in there. Just 2 innings. As that one is low and inside, but always handled himself with a lot of class here. Had valley fever. Take a season away from him. So good to see Connor Jackson starting to contribute again and feel healthy and strong. Hitting .292 with the A's. Played third base in a game in California. And played some third at Cal, better said. Bouncing ball. Oh, what a pretty piece of hitting. That's Freddie Sanchez in a nutshell, isn't it?
It really is. Just making contact, not trying to do too much, just stay right to the middle of the field with 2 strikes. Nice piece of hitting right there. That right there is why he has a batting title under his belt. Finds a way to put the ball in play.
Aubrey Huff. Pitches low, pitches inside. Aubrey lost his father when he was very young, grade school age. And this past October had a chance to really speak with a lot of pride about his mom and how much guidance she provided for him. His mom, Fonda. High fly up and into the seats it goes. His mom, when Aubrey was 10 years old, asked if he could get a batting cage and have it put up in his backyard. And extra hours, overtime, working in a local grocery store, extra work, saving. Save the money, put some of it on a credit card. And he always says, that batting cage is what got me to the big leagues. I owe my mom everything. And it was fun last year to allow Mr. Huff. You had that opportunity to share about those that were special in your life, Gonzo. When you get to the world stage, some of those stories, you get a chance to think worldwide those that were important to you.
Yeah, you really do. You think back to all your coaches and everybody who's, spent countless hours taking you to Little League fields or to travel ball teams and different things like that. And it's all worth it in the end.
Russell Brandon up the ladder. Can't turn it over. Aubrey Huff legs it out. Nice play by Russell, though, who's been just fine at first base.
It really was right there. A high chopper. Russell extending out, making a nice throw to second base.
So the man who finished 7th last year in the MVP voting decided to play it a little bit younger than he was supposed to. Aubrey Huff is on. Buster Posey outside. 1-0 the count. We were talking about it earlier, that division series matchup. Posey and his Giants, Hayward and his Braves, and those two used to go toe-to-toe a lot in high school. And for Posey to be playing important games in the state of Georgia, that meant a lot to him. That's his home state.
You got to wonder what the setback was on those ticket prices right there for him.
Oh boy.
Those aren't gimmies, folks. I know everybody thinks that you get those tickets for free.
Listen, you were a great science teacher. I know I learned a lot from you, but I just can't get you tickets to the playoffs.
Yeah, don't take it to heart if you don't get that return call back.
2-1 the count. The Golden Spikes Award as college baseball's best player in the 2008 season at Florida State. Pitch outside.
You know, when you experience something like Posey did early in his career, just as a guy like Derek Jeter did, it's hard when you don't get to the playoffs. Jeter had so many years in a row where they were going to the playoffs. It's almost expected every year from you to go out there and put up good numbers and play in postseason play.
Just 24 years old. And exploded onto the scene. He did a lot of his developing in college and some in the minor leagues. Justin Upton standing in right field. He has done a majority of his developing in the major leagues. With all of us watching, that's not AA, that's not AAA or ACC baseball. In on the hands again, and in time for the out. We roll on to the bottom of the 7th inning, employing someone to please kick the bat rack.
Jackson alongside Joe Borowski getting set for Quest Diamondbacks Live, our postgame show. And Joe, we previewed this pitching matchup on the pregame show. Daniel Hudson against Matt Cain. We looked forward to it. It hasn't unfolded the way that we had hoped, with Daniel Hudson's string of quality starts coming to an end tonight.
Matt Cain held up his end of the bargain and continues his dominance over the Arizona Diamondbacks. Daniel Hudson, although he piled up a ton of strikeouts, there's one thing when he looks back on this outing that's going to elude him, and I'll get to it after the game.
Okay, so Joe will reveal what did not work for Hudson, and Darren and Gonzo will look forward to talking to you two after the game.
Well, let's hope maybe there is some sort of a late rally to speak of. Thank you, guys. We look forward to talking baseball with you as well on Quest Diamondbacks Live, our post-game show. Giants and Diamondbacks. Of course, last year the Diamondbacks relegated to the role of spoiler late in the season against the team that went on to eventually win the World Championship. As you can see what Cain has done tonight. Boy, back in 01-02, these two teams went toe-to-toe. First place Arizona, second place San Francisco. I would imagine some amazing memories.
Oh, great memories. Even back to 99, 2000. I mean, every year it was almost like we were alternating first and second place. And There were some good rivalries out there. I remember the Charlie Hayes brawl with Stoudemire, getting out there and scrapping in the middle of the field. So, yeah, there was no love lost between those two teams. 18-inning game one time.
Long run for Aubrey Huff. Stephen Drew with a double. That hung up about as long as that 18-inning game, but he'll take the double.
Oh, you got to take advantage of those two guys, one in left and one in right field. I mean, they're older guys out there. Make them move around from left to right, in and out a little bit.
All right. Let's see if there is something to be had here. 101 pitches for Kane. Up and in, and that hurts. Maybe starting to fatigue a bit, not sure. It's the first time he's gone over 100 this year. But just missed his spot, that's all.
Well, I tell you what, if there's a guy who can tell you about hit by pitches, it's that coach that we have over in our dugout in Don Baylor. He got hit over 200, I believe it's 280 times.
American League record holder.
World record holder, I think, because there's not going to be anybody comes close to that.
5-0 is the score. Miguel Montero. Now with Affel warming out there, Montero finished up last year squaring Kane up a couple of times. Kane got him, but we're talking about fly balls deep, and I think Mr. Bochy remembers those at bats. And that combined with a little bit of loss of command, Jeremy Affel, who can be, well, simply put, a pain for left-handed hitters. Matt Cain, speaking of pains, he was fabulous tonight. The right-hander again, maybe in the shadow of Tim Lincecum, but don't tell Giants fans that. To nothing is the score. The Giants on top. Eli Whiteside, backup catch over there. Madison Bumgarner. I don't know if they texted in. Matt Cain standing with them. Will they repeat as the world champions? Boy, an even number there. 60% say no. 36929. You are taking the field. All right, fair enough.
Well, I thought it'd be leaning a lot more towards a no than yes.
Pretty good ball club down there.
Yeah.
Jeremy Affel answers our Verizon Wireless 4G call to the bullpen. 7th appearance of the year, 4.15 ERA. 31 years old. Royals originally a third-round pick in '97.
See if he gets a breaking ball right out of the gates here.
Hitless in 8 at-bats against Affel is Montero. 0 for 8. Is that a foul ball? Is that the call? A piece of his bat? Dead ball was called there, so what's the call? Let's see. Strike one. Foul ball. Yep.
Well, if I'm Miggy there, I got to sell that. Try to get on base, get a little bases loaded.
Start jumping up and down a little bit, shaking that hand. 0-1 the count. Outside. Everything's pretty heavy from Affelt, right?
Yep, comes right over, but a little deceptive to the left-handed hitters.
The lefties hung in there all right last year against him. Interestingly enough. Goodness, 93 getting a little bit of that corner. 1-2 the count. Again, 10 plate appearances, no hits for Montero.
See, and the thing that most lefties do is they'll pitch from the side closest to the left-handed hitter. Affelt pitches from the other side of the rubber. Right here, he likes to stay on the far right side facing the hitter.
Got him down and in. Now that was 95 with sink.
Yeah, I put a little extra on it right there.
Whoa. Was a great look at that late movement, and only one thing to me showed me that movement was the reaction of the face of Buster Posey. That banged his thumb when it dove down and in. Xavier Nady pinch hits. That pitch is low. Nady, 1 of 3 in his career. The one, a home run. A couple of years back, when Affelt was pitching for Cincy, Nady was a Pittsburgh Pirate. 3 of 10 this season, with a homer, though. A couple of years back against Affelt.
We'll take a homer right here if he wants to lift and extend on one.
One and one the count. Kane, another strong start, again, his 3rd of the year. Into the dirt it goes. Affelt pitched in 2 games in the Dodgers series, pitched in both victories, was scored upon once in a 5-4 win, working in the 7th inning, gave up a run. Gave up a long ball. The only home run he has allowed this year in 4 1/3 innings of work. Chasing. That's the same fastball that got Montero.
It is. That's a sinking fastball right there. But you talk about the Giants, you talk about their starting pitching. Their bullpen, they got 3 left-handers out there. That neutralizes our bench. I mean, we got Parra sitting on the bench right there, so that kind of holds guys like him from getting into this ball game at times.
Willie Bloomquist waits on deck. Affelt wants to talk things over for just a moment. Two and a 4-seam fastball, and you've seen the 2-seamer as Gerardo Parra looks on. 90 to 95 miles an hour, curveball, and a split to go with it. That split's a newer look. We haven't seen that one yet. Pitching coach Dave Righetti.
Oh, he was a good pitcher back in his day.
I will always say I think he can offer advice in a unique manner just because he was so successful in both roles, as a starter and as a reliever. List pretty short of guys that were as successful in both as he was. Guys like Dennis Eckersley, John Smoltz. Little topper off the end of the bat. You were talking about it earlier, Gonzo, when you mentioned the importance of these right-handed hitters when you flip-flop through the order. Not the lefties. It's not pressuring the lefties. It's the righties that have to come through.
Yeah, because these guys, if they start hitting off these left-handers, they're going to have to switch back over. It's a good pitch right there, just missed.
Very good pitch. I think it froze everyone. Dale Scott included. Let's see. Maybe low.
Might have been a little down.
Well, you look at it as new life if you're Nady.
Try to sneak around with a backdoor breaking ball.
On 3-2. Inside, ball 4. All right.
It's a nice at bat right there by Nady. Fouled off some tough pitches. Took a close pitch right there and then worked it for ball 4.
Last one looked in. Other one very close. Willie Bloomquist trying to keep the hitting streak alive. He has hit in all 9 games as which he has played as a Diamondback, and I think we saw Romo working up down there, warming up I should say. Bruce Bochy going to that bullpen. Just give me the righty. We'll step aside. We will reset. Diamondbacks with something to brewing. Arizona presents Diamondbacks baseball, brought to you by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, no blackout dates, the fast, reliable, secure, heavy-duty internet from Quest. Ride that light rail on into the ball yard. They're wrapping up that construction at the airport. That's all a good thing. It was a good thing for this right-hander, Ramon Ramirez, who was acquired last July 31st and ended up being moved from the Red Sox for a young man by the name of Daniel Turpin from Oregon. Ramirez came, he did his thing, pitched for the world champs. He's got a bit of a jam here. It's been a strong start to the year again this year. He has had quite a journey as a pro to Japan, the Rockies, the Royals, the Red Sox, now the Giants. And a big arm. Swing and a miss. Bloomquist has only faced him once. He tripled against him. He was just 1 of 5 against Affel.
D-backs in desperate need right here of a base hit. Try to get a couple runners across.
Slider is up. Go-to pitch is his slider. Those are 2 and a 4-seam fastball and a changeup, but you'll see a lot of sliders. From Ramirez. Pitch is low. Another slider misses outside. Young man, 29 years old, out of the Dominican Republic.
He's a guy who was a converted outfielder, turned into a pitcher.
2-1 the count. Fastball beat him with it, and it ends up in the seats.
Fastball just runs in right under Bloomquist's hands there.
What a run it was for Ramirez last year after he was picked up. 25 games, 2 earned runs allowed, an ERA of about a half a run. And you've got to have pitchers, and sometimes for teams, guys that you've never even heard of, stand on their head, in order to use a hockey term, in order to do what the Giants did last year. Well, they don't win the West. They don't have a chance to go to the postseason. You can't exclude this man without Ramon Ramirez.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Those are those role players that championship teams are always looking for.
Into the dirt. Another one is Buster Posey they were looking for. He contributed last year. He just saved a run there.
Textbook block right there. That's a tough job right there to be a big league catcher.
They expect to do it, though. Kane looking for his bullpen to clean things up. 2 of those runners are his responsibility. The 3-2 pitch into center field. It's an easy chance. That at least breaks up the shutout. Willie Bloomquist has his 6th RBI of the year. A sac fly, but you find yourself knowing, truly knowing, that you've got to get at least 1 more here in the 7th inning. 5-1.
Yeah, there's no doubt we need a big hit right here to try to get another run, especially in the 7th inning here. We're running out of outs.
And who better to do it than Kelly Johnson? Johnson hitless in 3 at-bats, average at 163, 8 for 49 to start the year. Out working early today in hopes that something might change tonight. Fouls that one off. 0-1 the count.
Well, I tell you, when you're not swinging the bat well, it always seems like you're behind in the count.
0 for 3 tonight, 0 for 3 in his career against Ramirez. So not a big sample. Into the dirt, it's gone. So Buster Posey will go try to find that ball. He does. So now, huge wild pitch because it's a 2-run game if Johnson singles. Well, that's big if you can cash in.
It's almost like he's just trying to overthrow it. He's missing by a lot right there.
That one found the 5-hole. Tough to block fastballs, though. 1-1. 1-2 the count.
Kelly just got to take a deep breath right here and just try to slow things down.
Second and third, 2 outs. Got him. So the tough night for Johnson continues. He is hitless in 4, tries the Diamondbacks to get 1, trail it by 4.
Ball game, though I'm not believing at any point the 11 hours worth of working out in a day. He looks great. And it's our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. You just eat a little better. Climbing mountains and 10 hours and all these stories. But he looks great. Esmeralda Vasquez, second appearance since coming back to the big leagues. Well, that's a new look, a curveball. Don't remember many of those, Gonzo.
No, a little backdoor breaking ball right there just to throw Sandoval off, a little change of pace.
Fastball is up and in, 1-1 the count. Vasquez, of course, didn't make the club out of spring training. Cam Michalio was the man who made the team. Michalio scuffled a bit. Took his demotion very hard. But who doesn't? Who wants to go back to the minor leagues once you make it? Little number. That's not an easy play. And Melvin Moore just made it. That thing came to him with some serious English on it.
Nice play by Moore right there, staying with that ball. Swing right off the end of the bat right there. Moore stays with it, sets his feet. Nice throw right there. Follows his throw.
Yeah, this right-hander, going back to that first pitch, has not and does not throw a curveball, but he is working one in now. You can take the time in spring and work on a pitch like that. Drops it in there. Another one, a breaking ball, a curveball. It's usually fastball slider change. It's a good look for him, though. 0-2. 1-2 the count to Pat Burrell.
And sometimes when you get sent out, especially at an early age, you ask your coach, what do I need to work on to stay up here? What is it going to take? He's working on that breaking ball. Especially if he throws it for strikes, it's going to be a benefit to him and to our ball club.
Back to the screen it goes. Burrow was drafted out of high school. Bellarmine Prep in the Bay Area. Drafted by the Red Sox. Instead went to the University of Miami, where he ended up, like we talked about Buster Posey, but 10 years earlier winning the Golden Spikes Award. High fly center field. It's an easy chance for Chris Young. With the D-backs Pepsi Max Value Pack, easy for me to say, you get a lower level ticket, regular size hot dog, 24-ounce Pepsi, and a free 20-ounce bottle of Pepsi Max. That's a lot of Pepsi, and that's a good thing. All for just $19. Available every game, every day. 602-462-4787. You'll be bouncing off the walls at the ball game. Visit dbacks.com/value. Swing and a miss. Changeup. Brandon Belt. I'm always told that the Diamondbacks lead the league in love. Maybe a date night. You know, it's a good place to bring a date. Not a lot of pressure. Being out, enjoying a ball game on a beautiful night. Good luck to you, young man. You're off to a good start at a ball game. The Phoenix Coyotes are doing their thing. They take on the Red Wings game 3 of the Western Conference quarterfinals Monday on Fox Sports Arizona. It's a whiteout. Starts at 6:30 with a 1-hour edition of the Quest Coyotes Live pregame show, live from the Plaza at Westgate.
Got to get those yolks going.
Well, now, what is your relationship with head coach Dave Tippett?
Well, when I was playing with the Houston Astros, he was the AAA head coach for the Houston Aeros.
The Aeros?
So we were basically neighbors. Yes.
Really? Not like arrows like bow and arrow, but AEROS, I'm guessing,
Correct,
right?
Correct. Of the International League.
Did you like him?
I did. I loved him. He helped bring a championship there, and he's taken this team to the playoffs already a couple times. So he's definitely a good coach. Good friend also.
Now, hockey players, pretty physical sport. Nate Shearholz comes on. There's that bend and move we saw the entire postseason, isn't it? And I would imagine Aubrey Huff has moved over to left field. Popped up. And Justin Upton is erased. But hockey players, they play a physical brand. They hammer each other pretty good. You can lose your teeth on occasion, can't you?
Quite a few chiclets you can lose out there.
Did Dave ever say anything about that?
Dave has exposed his chiclets a couple times to me. Yeah.
Just right there?
Yeah, right there.
Teeth right out?
Right there.
Wow.
Makes it a lot easier to eat soup and mashed potatoes, I guess.
I guess so. You could just get some Gerbers. Here's Russell Branyan. What a sport. Swing and a miss. Diving down and away. Changeup from the right arm of Ramirez, his third pitch. Russell fly to center a couple of times and has struck out. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. "35-year-old Russell Branyan from Warner Robins, Georgia." And that one sails up and out of the zone. Russell, since the start of the 2009 season, has a .504 slugging percentage. In that same time span, that's a better number than that of Mark Reynolds and that of Justin Upton.
Well, he's definitely known as one of the power hitters in the game. But with that comes a lot of strikeouts also.
Mm-hmm. Those other 2 guys I mentioned had their fair share as well along the way.
Yeah, and Russell's one of those guys that we brought in here, come off the bench. He's playing now, but to come off the bench and to be that threat when you need that big 2 or 3 run homer late in the game.
First base for the Diamondbacks still feels like an unfinished decision, as that one is away. 2-2 the count. Juan Miranda, Xavier Nady, Russell Branyan. Full count. Posey tells the right armor to use that right arm, but shake him off first. Bouncing ball right side. They had a big shift on already. Belt flips it on over to Ramirez covering, so he got him. Where'd they pitch him, Gonzo?
Way, away, away, and he rolls over. Fastball away. And Russell's a pull hitter. I mean, he just missed one last week or a couple weeks back in Colorado, so his strength is to try to pull the ball, and every team knows it. They're going to keep pitching him out there. When he's in a groove, that same pitch that he rolled over on, he's able to elevate and hit it in the seats.
On the corner, Young not so pleased.
Giants, the World Series champions in 1955 when they were New York residents. Last year, winning their first World Championship. Check that 54, we know that. Since moving to the Bay Area.
Posey setting up out there. Ramirez hitting his spots again.
Chris not so pleased with either one
No,
of those.
and you know what? If the catcher sets up out there and he hits the mitt, you know 9 times out of 10 that umpire is going to give him that pitch.
Yeah, you have to give Ramirez a little bit of credit there. On 0-2. Got him. Well, that's smart pitching. He went right out in that same spot, but instead threw him a slider. As we celebrate the baseball legend, but really the man who was behind one of the greatest moments, one of the largest moments in all of sports. Biggest impacts crossing all sports, crossing all of society. Our APS Energy All-Star on this day is Jackie Robinson. March of 2004, the commissioner announcing that every April 15th, that would be designated as Jackie Robinson Day throughout Major League Baseball. And the players that have worn number 42, initially it varied as a choice, and league-wide, game-wide, it's fun to take a look at that out-of-town scoreboard tonight and see the respect. Willie Mays, every time I look in my pocketbook, I see Jackie Robinson. Giants great, baseball great, Willie Mays, for a man who came before him. Miguel Tejada drives it into right center field, and Young will get there. It goes swimming up into the pool. So that is a double for Tejada.
It's a long run right there for Young. Made a nice effort. Came up just a little short. Nice try by Chris Young right there, just out of the reach of his extended glove.
So now Mike Fontenot, and it was Fontenot, as we told you earlier, who received some key at-bats and key starts in the postseason last year when they were, simply put, tired of looking at Pablo Sandoval. Fontenot getting some starts, but he did something in the early season this year that he didn't do all of last year, and that's homer. And it felt good. He's not known for knocking balls out of the park. But this week has been filled for the Giants with some real improbable wins. Beating St. Louis twice in come from behind style. Same thing with the Dodgers twice. Going 4-2 in a homestand in which they simply put could have easily gone 0-6. And that's not a stretch.
Fontenot behind in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes right here. He's definitely looking to try to hook a ball here to try to get the runner to third and drive him in at the same time.
The 1-2. Over the top of that one. That's that breaking ball, and he is done. So Fontenot goes down on strikes. April 15th. We celebrate Jackie Robinson Day, but others that have made their debut on this day and ended up in baseball's Hall of Fame: Grover Cleveland Alexander, Al Simmons. A couple of my favorite ball players on the far right: Eddie Matthews, Milwaukee Braves great, and Phil Niekro, knuckleball and baseball great. Early in the season, not a surprise that a handful of talented players have made their debut. 1-0 the count.
Boy, they've just handcuffed Rowan all night long here. He's been our best player right now to get guys out for our ball club.
There you have it. There's a ground out to third next to that. That's never any fun. But again, despite a forgettable night, Rowan's still hitting .324. Fastball tied him up, popped him up, and Young is there. You know, seeing Rowan, talking about Fontenot, thinking of Sandoval, knowing Zito is pitching tomorrow night as we see this again. I can't help but think of last year how the Giants handled roster moves that were tough. Guys that were left off the roster, guys that were benched, guys that played very little. All of them handled it so well, and that's part of the reason they won too.
Yeah, and then you think about it, they didn't even have, like, Mark DeRosa was hurt late in the year, didn't even play him. He's back, another veteran guy.
There was only one guy that didn't handle it well, and they went ahead and said very quietly behind the scenes, you can hop on a plane and go home if you'd like, and that's Jose Guillen. He wasn't around, and they were just fine with that. Pitch is low.
And not only that, Darren, they trade their catcher in the middle of the season to bring Posey up.
That's exactly right, and Benji Molina.
And end up facing him in the World Series.
So he got 2 rings.
2 shares, you think, too?
Maybe so.
It's a nice team if they did that, huh?
The 2-1. Well, he left certainly liked. It's not as if he left with a good riddance on his way out the door.
You know, but that's a big decision that an organization makes. I mean, here you have one of the top staffs in baseball to let your catcher go and bring up a rookie. You've got to have a lot of confidence in that rookie to go out there and handle those guys.
And I always remind fans, only because it shocks me, not only a rookie, but a guy who literally, in catching terms, just started catching his sophomore year in college. He's not talking catching now, though. Young Buster Posey.
A likable guy, too. Everybody on their team loves this guy.
Same part of the world as Stephen Drew, and a similar personality, understated, soft-spoken. As a catcher, you have to assert yourself a little bit more. He blew him away with the fastball. Last chance for the Arizona Diamondbacks. 5-1 is the score. They need 4. All right, boys, let's go. Cracked open. Matty Williams, Luis Gonzalez. A look back. A rivalry. Oh, boy. That's the Hayes Stoudemire brawl you were talking about.
Yes, there was no love lost there.
Randy. What's going on there? Kind of a foreshadowing of events.
Wait, that hat doesn't fit my mullet. Hold on.
There it is. Good old-fashioned Donnybrook.
It's one of the captains right there, right in the middle of the charge.
Did he ever get a little edge to him when he played?
One of the best competitors in the game.
There's a guy with a bit of an edge and a flair for the dramatic. He will only come on, I would imagine, if he is needed. Lopez answers the call from the bullpen. Low 3/4 to Submarine, 84 to 90 miles an hour. Javier was so huge last year in their race to a World Series title. It's his approach and the way he goes about his business. As that one is swung right through, that allowed the Giants to make the decision that we have a young man in the minors with a similar attack on the baseball, but we just right now can't afford to put him on the roster. He was made available and claimed in the Rule 5. He's in that bullpen for Arizona. Joe Patterson. That one is outside. Obviously much more seasoned experience. This is a pitcher who, he took his lumps. He took some here.
He did. He's developed very nicely in his career now.
Two and two the count. You saw tomorrow's game. Don't forget to join us for that one. Joe Garagiola will join us, the Hall of Famer, as our color analyst. It'll be our pleasure to get his take on what he has seen from these Arizona Diamondbacks and from the San Francisco Giants as well. Steven out to Sandoval, a couple steps to his right, and in time for the out. Aaron Rowan moves to left field now, and Darren Ford is in center field. Ford just called up from the minor leagues. The speed of Mr. Ford. And there's Aaron Rowan in left field.
Well, it seems to me like they got an overabundance of outfielders.
It does, doesn't it? Well, Andres Torres, they placed on the disabled list before the game with that Achilles problem. '33-year-old left-hander Javier Lopez. Into the dirt, into the backstop it goes. Javier was born in Puerto Rico but grew up in Virginia. Robinson High School in Fairfax, Virginia. Went to the University of. And then, as you might remember, one of the early years of these Diamondbacks, the amateur draft in the 4th round of 1998, he was a Diamondbacks pick. Bouncing ball to the right side. Freddie Sanchez, an easy little flip on over.
Additional defensive changes for San Francisco this inning. Moving from center field to left field, number 42,
and it's hard to miss him on the baseball field, and a man who has become quite a pitch man over the wintertime as he earns his living pitching, Brian Wilson. Very representative of the city that he brought a title to.
Does that beard stay with you the rest of your life, or?
It might have to for him. What a free spirit. A good guy, don't get me wrong, but a very free spirit.
No, you know what? It's great for the game of baseball to have different cast of characters out there, and he's a good ambassador for the game, believe it or not.
Side was bothering him in spring training. Many thought tried to come back too soon. Scuffled a bit his last 2 outings, though he's been what's that word they use? Filthy. His stuff has been back. The 1-1 misses outside. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, great ambassador, but if you ask me if I'd use his barber, I'd probably tell you no.
You wouldn't?
No.
Well, under that hat, if you haven't seen it, and that's what you're talking about, not only the beard, but there is really a haircut that's hard to describe. I had a chance to witness it with his card game today, as that one is outside. It was interesting because, as I told you, Brandon Belt was involved in that card game. And then you had Wilson and Tim Lincecum, and Belt didn't look like he belonged. You know, clean cut, had the uniform already on. 3-1. Inside. That's ball 4. Wilson in his last 2 outings has gone 2 innings and struck out 4. It has locked down a couple of games. That was the group. Here's Ryan Roberts.
Well, Roberts has done a great job for us coming out of spring training, winning a job, coming in here playing a nice role for our Diamondbacks.
Ryan to the right side, up and into the seats it goes. Well, the job you're talking about has him homering twice with a double. An OPS of over 1,100 and just 21 at bats. Talking earlier with Ryan about the hitting coach that impacted him the most. He said, I had Merv Retman when I was in Toronto. Spent a long time with San Diego as well, did Retman. Over the outside, 0-2 the count. He said, I learned most everything I learned from him. And then Rudy Jaramillo, a very well-known hitting coach in Texas. And now here with Don Baylor, he said, don't think for a moment I don't know how lucky I've been to have those 3 teachers. As well as many others not named along the way. Broke his bat, and he'll get another piece of lumber.
Well, it's been a tough offensive game for our Diamondbacks. If you look back, you know, we've kind of been hit or miss here. We're scoring 1 run in about 4 of those games. 2 runs once. So we've kind of been feast or famine.
Oh, 0-2 the count. Low and inside, 1-2 the count. Arizona coming in, averaging 5.8 runs per game, second to only Cincinnati and Philadelphia. And the highest team OPS in baseball at 833. League average 110 points lower for the average team in the National League. But as you said, still to reach those numbers, it's been some mountaintops and some valleys.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, 3 times we've scored double digits in 11. This is our 12th game of the season. So you think about our ball club, 7 times we scored 5 or more runs. The other times we're scoring 2 or 1 run.
1 foot in a bucket of ice and the other one in hot lava. That's kind of describing the balance of the D-backs offense. Well, it's hot when it's great.
And we've run into some good pitching now. I mean, we're catching a break here and missing Lincecum, but Kane's come out and done a fantastic job today against us. So it's not like you caught that much of a break.
Yeah, for me, they're 1 and 1A. The 1-2. Bouncing ball to the right side. And that may bring on Mr. Wilson. Or will it? 5-1 is the score.
I got to believe he's going to be coming out of the dugout here to come get him.
Well, you take care of your closer. Here's this again. Good for Ryan Roberts. With the 2 runners reaching, it has become a save opportunity. And Wilson is on. The rest of the weekend, Barry Zito against Joe Saunders in tomorrow's ball game. Madison Bumgarner against Barry Enright in Sunday's ball game. This is a fun weekend of baseball against the Giants. Closer Brian Wilson, part of the National League's best bullpen last year. They led the National League in save opportunities with 73, saves converted with 57, and percentage 78% of the time. And those numbers are skewed a bit because his first 2 outings he struggled. Last 2 he's been lights out. He inherits 2 runners. And the right-hander with a fastball that misses low. This is a save situation. By the way, of inherited runners for that Giants bullpen last year, 24% of them scored, the lowest total in the National League. The bearded one with the slider, 1-1 the count. 89.
Filthy slider right there.
Brian out of LSU. Pretty well spent 24th round draft pick in 2003. Son of an Air Force vet. And that pitch is low. 2-1 the count to Willie Bloomquist. Now Willie, with this last opportunity, has a chance to extend a hitting streak to 10 games. In other words, every game in which he has played as a Diamondback. Into right center field, to the gap it goes. There's your hitting streak. Tip of the cap to the ASU Sun Devils. Since coming home where he played his college baseball, he has gotten a hit in every single game in which he has played.
And that's why you see him every night in the lineup. Kirk Gibson has tried to find a way to get him in the lineup, whether it's playing in the infield, outfield, somewhere, just to get him in there. Nice piece of hit, stays inside the pitch, drives it out to right center.
Kelly Johnson waves at the slider under the bat. I think that woke up Wilson as well. Kelly having a tough night, hitless in 4 at bats, just hitting 160 to start the year. Up and in.
Yeah, and Kelly's one of those guys that our offense desperately needs, especially hitting up in the order for us. Got to get him on track real quick here.
In. Kelly hitless in 7 plate appearances, or 6 at bats if you look at it this way, against Wilson. 0 for 6 with 2 strikeouts. Popped it up, shallow left. Rowan is there. The Giants win 5-2. Taking game 1 of this series, Wilson locks down his 3rd save of the year. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the visiting Giants. The Diamondbacks 2 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. The Diamondbacks drop to 2 below 500. San Francisco playing very well lately, up to 7-6. Gonzo and I will have some thoughts on it, but now let's get on out to our post game.